Hello everyone, this is Bala here. Today we are going to answer a couple of questions which was asked in the assignment of day 14. So let's move on to the first question. When do we perform regression testing and what are all the testing artifacts or deliverables for the tester before production release? So what is meant by regression testing? Regression testing is a type of software testing technique in which the tester checks and verifies the already existing functionality or feature is working fine or not whenever a new functionality is deployed into the code base by the developers. When do we perform regression testing? The tester performs the regression testing as soon as the code freeze done by the developers, because after the code freeze, the tester can check all the functionalities present in the Jira board, and so that they can ensure that all the functionalities are integrated and they are giving the proper results as expected. So the regression testing report, release notes, release sign up email for that particular sprint. These are all the testing artifacts or deliverables for the tester before any production release of the software. Let's move on to the second question. Explain the step-by-step product development process. Let us consider a person who wants to develop a particular piece of software. He may or may not be a technical person, but he can't develop the software alone. So what he does, he goes to a software company in which the software company termed him as a client, and they will sign a contract between them. The contract consists of what is the name of the software, on which day and which month the software is entitled to give it to the people. Likewise, what are all the things being related to the production of software. Everything is being given in a contract and it's been signed between them. So the company hires a business analyst, and the business analyst is with close relation with the client, and whatever the requirements stated by the client will be properly and carefully documented by the business analyst, and this official documentation is called as software requirement specifications, or simply specification. In agile term, it is called as user stories. These user stories or requirement specification is supplied to a team. This team consists of project manager, scrum master, developer, tester, UI UX designer, etc. So the team carefully goes through all the requirements and everyone will start their process. For example, the project manager will be giving the deadlines for what are all the process, and the scrum master is responsible for having the scrum meetings, scrum backlog grooming session, scrum retrospective, etc. Then the designer designs the front-end designs of the software. He will design the UI UX elements required for the software. Then according to the elements, the front-end developer will be developing the front-end piece of software, and the back-end developer will be working on the back-end server of the software, and they both will be integrated. Then the tester will, meanwhile, in the development process, tester will be writing the test cases of the software. Then after the particular piece of requirement is being converted into a live code, then according to the test cases, the tester will be testing the software and he will mark it as pass or fail. Passed will be moving to the done, and failed will be again be assigned to the developer and it will be worked on. So these are all the product development process. And sometimes in a project, automation tester can also be required. Automation tester is nothing but they will be developing a framework for testing, and they will be given some test data and they will be supplying everything, and everything will be automated in a proper manner, so that the manual testing is being reduced, and this is being highly recommended for all the projects. Let's move on to the third question. What are some of the reasons of missing a bug by a tester? An ideal tester should not miss any of the bug happening in the software, because the bug might be very dangerous at the customer level. So, but there are some of the reasons of missing a bug by a tester. We'll see it one by one. The first one is improper documentation. Improper documentation in the sense the client must have told a feature to be completed, and that feature will be wrongly documented by the business analyst because he or she might have wrongly misunderstood, and those documentation will be supplied to the team of developers and tester. So the developer will be developing the software according to the documentation, and tester also does the same. And finally, the blame will come on tester because it was giving a bug at the consumer level. The next one is not writing the efficient test cases. A tester should be writing an efficient test cases so that it covers all the nook and corners of the software. For example, he should write test cases for the normal values as well as the boundary values. If he doesn't write the boundary value test cases, the bug might be very dangerous because many bugs are prone to the boundary values only. The next reason might be lack of time for testing. Let us consider the development is happening in sprint by sprint. At the end of the sprint, still the code freeze has not happening. The tester can't test the software in a very efficient way, so that at the end of the day, tester will be blamed for wrongly testing the software. Let's move on to the fourth question. What is a release notes? Explain with the help of an example. Release notes is nothing but an official documentation of the software which is released after the further enhancements done by the developers. So let us consider an example with the Play Store concept. So when you get into a Play Store, when you type an app name, the app will be displayed along with the download button or update button. So below that, you can see the developers giving the release notes. What are all the improvements done in the app from the previous version? For example, 2 days back, Telegram was said to be having a premium version also. So when you go into the Play Store, type Telegram, if you see down, you can see the release notes by the developers. What and all will be there? Telegram premium is released, but the existing features are always free. Like that, it will be mentioned. So for all the applications, developers will be writing the release notes so that the customer will be get to know what is the difference between the previous version and the new version. Thank you for watching.